Hello, my Paisanos, this is Super RJ, and welcome back to Disney Month. So, today's super discussion here on Disney Month is why do we people have mixed feelings with Disney remakes? That really does baffle me about this whole thing. Now, I'm not a big fan of the whole Disney remakes thing. If you guys don't remember, that the first Disney remake that Disney ever made was Tim Burton made a remake of Alice in Wonderland, which is sort of like a remake, but it's more like the sequel, sort of a sequel to the original film that Disney made years ago. And in my opinion, it's really good. I mean, it's really, really good. But however, then Disney literally decided to go get more money for making remakes of more of the classic films, such as they decided to make a remake of Sleeping Beauty, but this time they're starting the greatest Disney film, Maleficent. Then there's Cinderella, and then there's gonna be a new Disney remake that also I forgot. There's also The Jungle Book. That I actually reviewed on the movie. It was a good movie. But now Disney's making another remake to their film, to one of the greatest films known as Beauty and the Beast. Now, I rarely watched the original animated film of Beauty and the Beast. I saw some clips and I know how the story from beginning to end. That doesn't mean I watched the whole movie. I actually know how the beginning does, and I actually know how the ending goes. Like like I saw the ending a lot. So basically, this is it. I understand people love the movie so much. Well, however, when I heard Disney making a remake of Beauty and the Beast, I just think it's going to suck. I really do, guys. I just really friggin' do. Mainly because it's just nothing I mean, it doesn't look that interesting to me. I mean, it's like when I first saw the Disney remaking The Jungle Book, I thought like it's gonna be not that good to me. But when I watched it, it was not that bad a movie. It's the best Disney remake I've ever seen in my life because I love the visuals, the effects on the animals, and all that stuff. But with Beauty and the Beast, it's too much. I mean, Disney does some live action stuff, but it's kind of like adapt reboots. Like for example, they made Oz the Great and Powerful, which is the prequel to Wizard of Oz. At least that one has some creativity and look visual nice, and it does have a nice way how the Oz came to be, the Great and Powerful Oz. But with Beauty and the Beast, it doesn't look. You already know how the story is going, and that's all stuff. At least they could have some few things, but it's like when I look at the trailer, it reminds me of Into the Woods. I've never seen that movie before, but it reminds me of it. But just having some dancing antiques and stuff. But fell on track. I just think that Disney should never do any remakes to their greatest films. Well, however, Disney keep on announcing they are making more remakes to their greatest films. Like coming soon, like they're gonna make a remake of Mulan, which is one of my favorite Disney movies of all, which is one of my favorite Disney animated films. And I heard that you guessed it, they're doing a remake for The Lion King. Now I was like, now that's the movie I really think it's going to be really bad because you can't literally make one of the most highest grossing anime film of all time to remake it to like a sort of a live action bit. But seriously, if the only Disney remake I should care watching is Tim Burton's remake of Dumbo. That's the only thing I kind of care about. Well, now back on track to this discussion. Now, when Disney do some live action, people have mixed feelings with their live action. Now, I'm not talking about their outright remakes of their film, other animated films, unlike other live action stuff in general, such as John Carter or the Lone Ranger and all that kind of jizz, especially the Pirates of the Caribbean movies. But back on track, that's the thing. Like Disney doesn't have any much of a creativity when it comes to their live action films. Well, they do in most of their Disney remakes, but they didn't do it much like that with their Disney remakes. For example, in Alice Through the Looking Glass, people say the most disappointing thing that Tim Burton have ever produced it, and in fact made Disney worst thing Disney producers do. Period, because it I guess it kind of relates to the second book of Alice Through the Looking Glass, but I watched it. It was beyond boring. The plot is boring. The plot is kind of rip off of Finding Dory, I guess. Well, Finding this movie came out before Finding Dory, oddly enough, but I just feel like they don't have anything new. In fact, I just stick to the original Alice in Wonderland, Tim Burton's Alice in Wonderland, because that was simple enough. But with Disney remakes, like I said with Beauty and the Beast, it doesn't feel like it's going to be great to me. I mean, at least the design, the effects, and the CG look good, but it just doesn't look that interesting. Like the setting, it looks like a generic medieval time, take place in medieval times, sort of in Paris and all that stuff. Nothing interesting at all. And like when I heard they're gonna make a musical, they're gonna remaster the original songs, which I find okay. So nothing all that new. But either way, it just doesn't look that good in my opinion. I just think it's going to suck as always. Now, to be fair, the only best Disney remake that I love the most is Pete's Dragon. At least there it has some, even though the movie has no story and the whole story is about family, being with a new family and all that stuff, it reminds me of Our Life with Timothy Green, but at least new and but at least way more better, like a huge improvement. I mean, even though it does, like, at least the dragon was nice, and Pete himself was very likable to knowing what the world's around. It's kind of like similar to Little Mermaid, but at least it could have like a better plot, like make it like it was in the original film that Disney made with Don Bluth. But they had no creativity whatsoever with their Disney remakes. And and I know that Disney gonna keep making more remakes of their greatest films. But in conclusion, Disney should really never make remakes. Even though these Disney remakes does make them a lot of money, but they just don't really need to. Because I know this is Walt Disney Studios. I know their purpose is live action films, but I just don't think it works with these live action movies. To be fair, The Jungle Book and Pete's Dragon and the first Intimate Alice in Wonderland is nice films, but throughout the other films I never saw, well I did saw in wasn't that nice. And that's how I feel about with the new remake of Beauty and the Beast. So yeah, that's the end of the discussion. And also I heard some rumors that saying that Lindsay Lohan wants to be the role of Ariel when Disney is about to do a remake of The Little Mermaid. Not even true. Not even joking. They really are making the live action remake of The Little Mermaid. Seriously, this is so long, my paisanos. Okay, I'm gonna give this to all of you some of you who don't get what I'm saying for this discussion. I'm trying to say is that I'm just saying that although the Disney remakes are good, some Disney remakes are good, but made a lot of money. It's just that we just don't need to watch it because we already know what they're gonna do in the film, like they did when they do the original films, such as just like for example, like Cinderella. We all know she's gonna be with Prince Charming and they'll live happily ever after in the end. But however, they sometimes do changes a bit. To be fair, at least they do change some differences in these movies when it comes to their original films. That's all I have to say. It's just that they could do some different varieties, but we kind of already know what they're gonna do and what's gonna happen. And that's basically simple, but with different dialogue or such. Thank you.